Welcome back to this stage. The landing page is ready to be published. I have updated all the required information like text, images, videos and different sections on this site. Adding moving particles or 3D tilt effect is an additional stage to make your website look modern and professional. To add such particles or effects without going through CSS, then it is required to have the following plugin called Divi Toolbox. It is one of my favorite on-the-go plugins and it has many other features that I plan to cover in a different class. But in today's lesson, I will only use two of my favorite features from this plugin, moving particles and 3D tilt effect without writing any CSS. Just to be clear, I'm not sponsored by anyone, but in real life I appreciate their work and I have used their plugin on many client sites and my clients loved it. Their regular license is £49 and extended license is £169. If you are a developer or plan to be one, then go for extended. Feel free to explore their website and learn more about the product before you make any decision. Once you have made your purchase and downloaded the zip file from Divi Toolbox, then head over to the backend of WordPress to upload the plugin. Navigate to the plugins and click on Add New. Over here, I will click to upload the plugin. Click on Choose File. Here, I will select the Divi Toolbox zip file that I have downloaded earlier. We can see the file name appears right next to the chosen file. Click to install now. Once the installation is complete, then click on Activate Plugin. Perfect! The Divi Toolbox plugin is installed and activated successfully. Now, let's navigate to the settings of Divi Toolbox. The settings are under Divi menu, which is the last menu item, Divi Toolbox. This is the Divi Toolbox plugin. After we install and activate the plugin, now it's time to activate the license. Here it says that the Divi Toolbox API key license is not activated and it says click here to activate the Divi Toolbox. I will click here. I will paste my license API key. Afterwards, save the changes. Great, we can see the successful license activation message on top. Let's navigate to the Divi Toolbox. Under Divi menu, click on Divi Toolbox. As I mentioned earlier, this plugin will be a separate class as there are a lot of features to cover under admin, global, header, footer and so on. But I will just focus on the features that we need for today's lesson. Let's start by adding the moving particles. Navigate to the global settings. Scroll down all the way. Here we can see the moving particles settings. Let's enable the settings. Save changes. There are two different types of particles. Here we have the IDs, particle background 1 and particle background 2. Let's copy the code for the first ID. The instructions to add this code are given. You can navigate to any section or row, Settings, Advanced tab, CSS ID and classes, and paste the code under CSS ID field. Let's navigate back to the landing page. I will add the moving particles over here in the arrow section. Enable the Visual Builder. I will add the moving particles in the section Settings right over here. Open the section Settings. Navigate to the Advanced tab. Open CSS ID and classes. I will paste the moving particle code here under CSS ID field. As you guys can see, the instructions are given on Divi Toolbox as well. Paste the code here. Save changes. Click on Exit Visual Builder and save and exit. Perfect. There we go. I can see the moving particles and they are in right spot to give a good impression to a visitor. In my opinion, it looks professional and you notice how easy it was to add the moving particles. You can basically add these moving particles to any row or a section on a website and let the Divi Toolbox plugin do the job. We can also further customize the moving particles settings like the moving speed, amount, and so on. Let's navigate back to the moving particles settings. Over here, click on DV Toolbox Customizer, or you can click on this gear icon. Wait for it. It will automatically navigate to the moving particle settings. Click to open moving particle background. Here I have full access to all settings of the moving particles, like number of particles, opacity, shape, size, speed, and so on. Let's change the opacity to 0.8. Once it loads, you will notice now the particles are more visible. I will decrease it back to 0.5. Also, feel free to change the particle shape from here. The remaining settings are okay. Feel free to play around and customize it accordingly. One of the settings that I will change is particle interactivity from none to grab. When you bring the mouse cursor near to moving particles, the cursor acts like a magnet to the particles. Feel free to tweak other settings. In this, we are done updating the particle settings. Click on Publish for the changes to take effect. Alright guys, that's all for the moving particles. Now I will add 3D tilt effect to different elements on the website. Navigate back to DV Toolbox Settings. Navigate to the Modules tab. Scroll down and over here we have the 3D tilt effect settings. Enable the 3D tilt effect. All we need to do is copy the code. We can paste this code to any element on the website to give it a 3D tilt effect look. Save changes. Perfect, the changes are saved now. Navigate back to the landing page and let's see where we can apply 3D tilt effect. Scroll down. We can apply it on this image. Or further, we can apply it on these images as well. Also, I will apply 3D tilt effect on these pricing plans. Alright guys, since we have decided where we plan to apply 3D tilt effect, let's start by enabling the visual builder. I will scroll down to the images where we plan to apply the effect. Open the module settings of this image. Navigate to the Advanced tab. Open CSS ID and classes. Under the CSS class, I will paste the code here. Save the changes. Similarly, I will scroll down and then add the code to the remaining images and pricing plans. I will skip the remaining images, adding code now. You know the steps. For pricing plan, open the Youth module settings. Navigate to the Advanced tab. Open CSS ID and classes. And I will paste the code under CSS class. Save changes and likewise update the rest. Once done, exit the visual builder to check if the 3D tilt effect is working accordingly. Scroll down and let's check the first image. Great, as you guys can see, the 3D tilt effect is working. I really like the 3D tilt effect. It gives a professional look to any element. Similarly, if we check the pricing effect, it also has this professional 3D tilt effect. Alright guys, these are just the two effects that I just added, moving particles and 3D tilt effect. You can do much more with this plugin, which I will create a separate class for it. Share your website or landing page under the class projects for me to have a look or give suggestions. That's all for this lesson. See you guys in the next one.